Which I love. Oh, you play press. That's all right.
All right, we got starting quarterback Gio Lopez here to take questions for Gio. We'll start with Noah.
Hey Gio, no one's about curious from your vantage point, how would you describe the way Demond runs and how fun is it for you to be able to watch him do that?
I think it's really cool watching Demond run, call him Juju, because we're here at Demond. I think Juju runs great, it's fun watching him, you watch him grow. I didn't get to see his spring, like I got to watch him throughout fall camp, watch him grow as a runner, as a player, just get more confident, and he just runs hard, and, got hawked down, something I'll give him something about, but I think he's doing really good developing.
Let's go to Ryan.
Gio Lopez, Federal Reserve. What have you seen the last 2 weeks from your guys, and do you feel like you gained enough confidence since that TCU game to have a better performance down at Central Florida?
I think it's just chemistry and executing the offense. At the end of the day, we're a bunch of new guys sort of gelling together, and I think every day counts. Practice counts, meetings count, just everything we do together counts. So I think as an offense, we're just gelling more and more. Defense are doing a great job already gelling. I think that's kind of something we're still doing, and I'm pretty confident in everything though.
Andrew?
Looks like Jordan can run pretty much every route. I know the term possession receiver might not be fair, but can he be a possession receiver for you guys?
I think Jordan is tough one. I think possession receiver. I don't want to give him that because then he says.
But the point is, you move the chains when you get the ball. You did it with Charlotte last week a couple times. You get over the middle to him. You guys are moving the chains, which hasn't always been a consistent thing.
Yeah, I would say just Jordan's a complete receiver. That's the best way I can say. He's going to do his job, whatever role he needs to be. If he needs to be the outside, if he needs to be the slide, if he needs a crack block on a run, he's going to do it. So I think just Jordan as a player is a complete receiver. And to get the ball in his hands is a good thing. Whatever it takes to give him the ball, it's going to be a good deal.
The 16, because he played longer than 16.
I would say he plays pretty big. I'm that's something we talked about, when I first got here. He said he feels like he needs to play his size more, and I think he's actually playing more than that.
Let's go to Brian.
Yeah, Gio, coming off of that TCU loss, what did Bill say or coaches say about regaining the kind of stuff that you need to do to be prepared for the schedule that's coming up? Was there a sense in the team that, hey, maybe we're not as good as we thought we were, or maybe, we need to stop, feeding into any hype?
I feel like as a team we were never, too into the hype. Of course, we have a lot of outside noise. We try not to listen to it. I think offensively, that's who I can speak on. Offensively, I think, we just didn't show up for the TCU game. The best thing that could happen for us, though, was we had a short week going to Charlotte, get some more confidence going, and just overall, I'm just happy how we're, showing up every day.
Did you get a feeling that things changed after that, whether it was in practice or meetings, like, hey, we've got to get a lot?
I think funny enough, I hate the term we needed that. You don't want to get, killed in live television, something that we needed. We didn't want to say need, but I think it's just a wake-up call that, we have a lot more we got to do better and just, lock in on practice and just take every day and make the most of it.
So Jeremiah.
Yeah, you already talked about the games that, Demond had, the Ship had. You talked about the offense kind of, gelling. How would you, at this point, I know it's only 3 games in, but if you had to, how would you kind of describe the, identity of this offense? How would you kind of illustrate it?
I think the identity of the offense is we just want to be smart, tough, and dependable. At the end of the day, we just need to execute our plays, run them at the best that we can, and when we do that, we score and we move the ball. I think when we have mess-ups or little things that we don't do right, that's when we don't play well. So I think for us, just being simplifying everything. Don't overthink everything and just do what you're supposed to do, and we'll be fine.
Great.
Hey, Gio, Grant Sasser of Tar Heels on that side. Talk about the defensive performance today, because they seem to get you guys in a lot of great field position and allow you guys to move the ball up the field, with 30, 40 yards. That's a pretty good defense right there.
I think our defense is doing a great job. Something I said back in Charlotte was I feel like even the slack that our defense got against TCU, we put them in those situations. We had 3 and out after 3 and out, and we put them in tough situations. When you get put on defense that many times, and only getting a minute or 2 minutes of rest, you get fatigued. So I think our defense is doing a great job, and they're doing a great job just with everything that got thrown at them so far.
Jeremiah.
Hey Gio, Jeremiah Talk Show, Charles on that side. Through the first 3 games, what is your personal assessment on yourself? What are some things that you feel like you do better and things that you felt like you went well?
For me, there's a lot I got to clean up. There's reads I'm missing, there's stuff I just got to clean up. Everyone can be a lot better. I got to be better myself. And I think I guess a positive I would say just kind of coming in the offense and being able to talk to everybody and help people when they don't know what they're doing. It's kind of like a little bit of Juju, when he's coming in there, just kind of talking to him and being able to talk to everybody. But for me personally, there's a lot I want to clean up, and I'm going to go watch that game and clean up some more stuff after this game.
Shelby.
Shelby's also from News Observer. Going back to Juju, just what has impressed you the most maybe that you've seen in the off season? Coach was just talking about his ability to really work all the way up the depth chart?
I would say for Juju, just showing up every day for him, just never, if he was with the threes, he was with the twos, he was with the ones, Juju was just showing up. He didn't care who he was going against, if it was basics, it just didn't matter. He was going to run hard, he was going to execute what he was supposed to do, and I think it just kind of shows like what happens when you work hard, you're going to get a good situation and get what you deserve, and Juju's doing a great job of that.
We got time for two more. We're gonna go to Doug and then Adam.
Gio Lopez on board Associated Press. Early you guys settled for a field goal. I guess how important was it to turn that around second half and convert some touchdowns?
Just for like when we came in at halftime, we were kind of, everybody was kind of like disappointed. I feel like we left a lot of plays on the field, and I think just for us, the second half coming in and scoring, defense doing a great job again. I think it was a good confidence booster, but we still, a lot of stuff we need to clean up, and we can do a lot better.
And last one for Adam.
We're gonna let Kate take this.
Okay.
Gio, Newkirk obviously came out there and had that possession, but not the debut he wants. But you were one of the first people that came over and talked to him. What do you say to him, kind of build him up in that moment?
Tori, I love it. Tori's awesome. He forgot the motion, didn't see the safety. It was one of those situations, big guy. The first thing I told him was I threw a pick, I think my fourth throw of college football against Southern Miss. I remember it like it was yesterday. And I told him dude, that happens. You just gotta keep playing. Don't let that discourage you. Just showing up in practice every day. There's a reason you got put in. There's a reason you got put in. Don't think it's gonna push you down the depth chart so you didn't do anything. You're good. I told him just keep being you. It's gonna work out. Just keep playing.
What did he say, Gio, when you were telling him that?
I told him, he's like, Tori just said, he's like, I forgot to motion him. Didn't see the safety. I was like, okay, we're naming stuff that we need to fix, but I think, he's a really good kid, and I'm happy to be in the room with him, and it's someone I want to kind of take under my wing, and I feel like I have, and I just love Tori. Tori's awesome.
Perfect. Good stuff, Gio. Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
man.
Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you.